Hi travelers, it's Natalie here once again, and today I am going to talk about some of the challenges in the classroom that I have been facing in the past 2 weeks. Before we start, I want to apologize because I'm going to be sniffling and I'm going to sound disgusting because I am sick. Yes, 2 weeks in and I have caught whatever has been going around at that school, so I'll be drinking my ginger tea throughout this conversation. So yeah. A quick update on my last video, or one of my last videos, my Korea initial reaction. I had said that I was only going to be teaching one note, like one sheet of the lesson plan or the lesson, which is true, but that one sheet, that one page that they had pointed out to me, I had to create an entire lesson plan off of that one page. So that has been an interesting transition, because I went from thinking I wasn't going to teach, maybe 15 minutes to teaching the entire class period for up to 20 different classes every single week. So yes, that's big changes. Yeah. So one of the challenges that I have come across when trying to plan for my classes is knowing the prior knowledge of the students. Like, what do they know? Like, what milestones have they reached, or what should they be able to understand? And as a new teacher, when you walk in, you are not given that information. I don't have any clue what my students should know. I just guesstimate that year by year, it should be an accumulation. I should be able to have some kind of conversation by year 3. By the way, I teach at a middle school, so that is what I assumed. I find that at my school in particular, there is such a wide range of levels, despite whatever grade they are in. So somebody who has been in English classes since their first year in middle school, some of them, they still don't know their ABCs all the way up to the third level. And that has been, that was interesting to find. I find that I don't want to waste time and reiterate information that they already should know. And that is one of the difficulties with trying to plan. Like, how much time should I dedicate to reviewing the material compared to teaching new material? Should they already know this? Do they need a review? It's just, I don't know. For example, this week, I had an after-school class with my third grade middle school students. This is my first time ever having third grade students. I usually am only with the first and second grade. So they had asked me to put together a lesson plan for the after-school that focuses on Western culture, so like American culture. That, when you really think about it, a lesson plan on American culture is so vague. I could cover a lot on American culture. I need specifics. You want me to just cover events? But that's not just American culture. Do you want me to cover race relations? Do you want me to, what? So I kind of went in kind of blindsided. So I ended up deciding to teach about diversity. Since I am a foreigner coming into Korea, obviously I look hella different than everybody else. And I wanted them to understand that no matter how long I were to stay in Korea, I could learn the language, I could be here for 100 years, I will never be considered Korean. Whereas in America, if you come to America, no one's going to say you are a foreigner. For all we know, you can be an American. Who knows? That is one of the differences that me as a foreigner experiences. So I was trying to get them to understand that. But before we could even start, this is a culture class, right? It's a culture class, so we should be able to define culture. The kids were completely lost. Mind you, if I said diversity, they were like, what? So I gave as many examples as possible, showed videos associated with the material, and it's just, I guess I have to think of them, like teaching them like I would teach my first graders. There was maybe a few students in that class that were advanced enough to keep up, but the majority of the after school students or the club activity students were just completely not even interested in what I was saying. So it kind of goes to show you, how am I supposed to teach about Western American culture? And that has been one of my challenges lately, trying to figure out how to do that and keep them entertained. I'm so sorry, you guys, for what's going on here. Ugh. How am I supposed to simplify this material? I simplified it as much as I could, but when you really think about it, it's hard. It's really hard to simplify material like that and trying to explain it to a toddler. Not saying that these kids are toddlers, but their understanding of the English language, it's very, very basic. So how am I supposed to simplify that? And it's just been a constant challenge for me. I spend so many hours just lesson planning because of that reason. I want to keep my students entertained and having fun and interested in the material, because that is what I'm here to do. The term teacher-tainer comes to mind when you think of what you have to do in an English class, especially for these middle schoolers who already think that they're grown. They're not interested by these A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, put it all together for a melody. They're not interested in doing any of that kind of stuff. They think that they are grown, they're going to high school soon, off to college, and they think that they can't, that's not up to their levels. So we have to become creative. I am basically a dancer in my class. When I mean dancer, I mean literally the kids are laughing at me. So I was trying to explain the future. The key expression was, do you have any plans for blah, blah, blah? So like, do you have any plans for the weekend, for tomorrow? So we would use that for the future. So I'm like, students, we use, do you have any plans for the future? The future? For when? The future. What's an example of the future? The weekend is the future. Good. Tomorrow is the future. Next week is the future. So I have to do big and exciting movements to get my kids like, what is wrong with this lady? Like, is she okay? Do you see this? What? And the kids are always laughing at me because that's how I keep them excited. And going back to lesson planning, I spend so much time, not just lesson planning my material, but getting interactive games and not songs. I haven't done songs with my students, but interactive games, interactive videos, like things that would make them like bust out laughing. That is so ridiculously funny. Things that I laugh at, but that is I'm like a scavenger on YouTube trying to find something that somewhat relates to the lessons. If I'm not having fun in the classroom, I know my students aren't having fun. We are not that far off in age, so it's not, I understand what they're going through mentally, physically, you know, so I understand. Recently, I have actually introduced a beach ball into my class because I find that there are several students that tend to always fall asleep, or they're just like, and I don't like that because it seems like, to me, it just makes it seem like I'm not doing my job. So I brought the ball in to get students to pay attention. And so far they like it. So I'll take my ball and tell the students, listen, so this ball is here to make sure that you are paying attention. If you are paying attention, then you will not get hit in the face with this ball. I can throw this ball at any time, and if you are not paying attention, you will get hit and everyone will laugh. If you fall asleep in my class, you will get hit with the ball, okay? So I'll hold the bell and say, who's paying attention? Who's paying attention? And throw it. Throw it. And then, of course, the first student gets hit. And they're like, whoa, was not expecting that. You weren't paying attention. Give me the ball back. Who's paying attention? And then everyone's like, and since I have brought in that ball to my classroom, not one student has fallen asleep in my class. So I need to find more creative ways to keep them up and alert and interested in my class. Those are the challenges that I'm seeing so far in my classes. It's just been a constant challenge, and I think once I get into a flow and I know what my co-teachers want or expect of me, that it'll become a lot easier and a lot smoother, and I can start working on material in advance. That's just the person I am. I like to work on things for weeks ahead, so I already know what I'm doing. I don't like this, I don't like to do it the week right before, because then it's a mess. I take time and I take pride in my PowerPoints to make sure that it's as enticing as they can be. You know, I take a lot of time. So hopefully it'll get to a point where I have a regular schedule and I know what I'm doing. Anyways, so far that is what I have encountered with preparation challenges in my classroom. So I want to know, if you guys are teaching or if you guys are already teachers, what are some resources that you guys use? I know of waygook.org. I am all over Waygook, so don't worry about Waygook. I know Waygook. Okay. How do you guys plan? Where do you guys get your interesting material from? That again has obviously been a challenge of mine. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you are subscribed, and I will see you later. Bye.